This message isn't for everyone, but if you keep starting strong and then falling off, stay here for a second. You ever notice how you can lock in for a few days, maybe even a week, and then suddenly you're off track again? Not because you forgot what to do, but because something in you just stops holding the same energy. And then you try to restart, and it feels harder every time. I don't know who this is for, but that pattern isn't about discipline. It's about identity. Because consistency isn't built on effort. It's built on who you believe you are while you're doing the work. And that's where most people miss it. They approach consistency like a task, something they have to force, something they have to keep fixing, something they have to keep getting back to. But that's why it keeps breaking. Because anything you have to constantly get back to was never fully part of you in the first place. Hello? Stay with me for a second, because this is where everything changes. You don't become consistent by trying harder. You become consistent by becoming someone who doesn't question the action anymore. Someone who doesn't negotiate with themselves every day. Someone who doesn't wake up and ask, "Do I feel like doing this today?" Because the answer doesn't matter. The action is already decided. And that shift is subtle, but it's powerful. Because now you're not relying on motivation, and you're not forcing discipline either. You're operating from identity. And identity doesn't fluctuate the way emotions do. It stays stable. So the action stays stable too. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the reason you keep falling off is because part of you still sees what you're doing as temporary, something you're trying instead of something you are. And as long as it feels like something you're trying, you'll keep stopping, because there's no internal cost to quitting. But once it becomes part of who you are, stopping feels wrong. Not because of pressure, but because it doesn't match you anymore. That's when consistency locks in. Not perfectly, but permanently. So no, you're not inconsistent. You just haven't fully stepped into the identity that makes consistency natural yet. And once you do, everything you've been trying to force starts happening without resistance. I don't know who this is for, but if this hit you, you don't need a new plan. You need a new standard. If this hit you, I put something deeper together. Link in the bio.